Good morning, YouTube. This is Spirit Journey. Today is July 10th, Thursday, 2016. And it's after 7 p.m. It's around 7:45 a.m., excuse me. I was just candle gazing. And, candle gazing, you have a candle and you gaze into the candle. With me, what I was doing, I talked to the candlelight. And it relaxes you and helps you focus on you. For the past weeks before the presidential election, I was very hooked on YouTube and watching anything and everything on the election and just things in general. I know of someone who just moved yesterday, and I think part of me may feel a little alone, but I know about the person's move for months now. And so now I guess, it's just me. And I think, my looking at the videos is really avoiding me and my feelings. So I got up this morning and I lit my candle and sat down. And I just started talking talking to yourself, just to the universe. And I want to share with you my thoughts. I started thinking, as I've said in other videos, what's really going on. I started, as I looked at the candlelight, I started thinking about I don't know what they're called, but it's like a little, it's usually like a light bulb inside. And then on the outside, it's almost like a shield, like a ring around it, and it has like a cutout, almost like a lampshade, But imagine you get a lampshade and you cut little figures in it. It could be a pretty scene of little animals or little ballerinas, and then this lampshade, whatever, could turn around, And then on the wall, let's say the room is relatively dark, and the only thing that's lit is that little lamp or whatever, and it casts images on the wall. And I started thinking, wow, I'm looking at the wall and it's entertaining. It could be entertaining, and it just goes around and around. And I feel this is what life is like. I used to roller skate in the 1980s. I was in my 20s. And I was just, very naive about life in general. I was being irritated, so to speak. I'm like you're sleeping in bed and you have crumbs and you're scratching yourself. I was irritated. I didn't understand my life and what was happening around me. I used to roller skate in Central Park, and it's a ring, and you just go around, and it was counterclockwise we were going. And then I started to get bored with it, and I would sit down and just watch the people go around and around. But what I did enjoy about it is that I got the opportunity to talk to people, and that's what I really like doing. I like engaging one-on-one with people or with two other people, not a big thing, and just, you like sharing your heart with others, and just sharing sharing with each other your heart and your feelings, and I love that. I think for me, that's what life is all about, what's really important. And then one day, fast forward now, um, maybe 2 years ago, I went to this place called Bryant Park. It's on 42nd Street between 5th and 6th Avenue. It's a big park right behind the main public library. That library that's really big, made out of stone, and you have little lions, carved lions out in front. That library. It's the New York Public Library, it's called. And they had an ice ring, during the winter seasons. And again, people started, going around and around. They had the music. And I started to get a bad headache, a tension headache here, pain in my temple, watching these people going around and around. They looked like they were having fun, but I was getting depressed and felt lonely and empty watching. I said, why am I feeling this way when everybody says I'm supposed to be enjoying this? I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I've ice skated before too, with my family when I was a youngster. It's just something about just going around and around I don't like. So today, my looking at the candle, the candle light, and thinking about this lampshade looking thing with cutouts, and there's light inside. It's the light that casts the shape on the wall. And sometimes you can have it in reverse, like everything, like you can have dark images, like it could be light on the outside, and then you have an object covering the light and showing a shadow on the wall. You have that effect too, but that effect looks more spooky. But look at this. You basically have the same thing, but it's in reverse. It could be a light image cast on the wall, or you can have a dark image cast on the wall. But it's all the same thing. It's just in reverse. And it's going around and around. And then what's happening is you are being affected by what you see. You could go, ooh, and ah, or you could go, ooh, that looks spooky. You have two things that could happen. This election was like this. You had the ghost figures and you have the light figures on the wall affecting you. And then it's over. The election was over early yesterday morning. And I did put up a video on the Trump headquarters. It's all blockaded. And all these cameras, all international, all different types of people out there, cameramen, camera women, but now, I'm left with myself again. And I asked myself when I was looking at the candlelight, what's next? What am I doing? And how did I get in this place? I feel like I'm trapped in a device and things just going around. And but we're having all these emotions, and each time we see these images on the wall, we think it's real, and then we engage in it. I was looking at videos yesterday, post presidential election. You had a video of young people, and it's something when you get older, everybody starts to look younger than you. And I saw these kids. They look like kids to me. They look like in the early 20s, and they're radicalized. They were walking around with these banners. They had a lesbian flag. They had the communist flag. They had a Mexican flag. And they just chanting and just, and I'm wondering, what's their issue? This is how I feel. I mean, you can be anything you want to be. Whatever way your lifestyle you want, have it. If that's what you want for you, if that's the path you want to go for it. But I'm wondering, I'm looking at them. Why did they choose the path of the type of banner they want to carry? Are they really feeling what they're feeling at such a young age? I look at them, and I could be 100% wrong, but it's just my impression. These are rich kids, and they want something to argue about. And I don't think anyone is persecuting them. But they feel like they need to feel like they're persecuted and argue and yell and if, like in this one instance, he had a white man that had his mic, and he wanted to get people's thoughts, interview them, and he was accosted. And they said, "Oh, you probably voted for so and so, and oh, you're the enemy." I'm wondering, I look at these young kids who are being radicalized. Into what? I don't know where they're going to go with this. And I think back in my life. I look back when I was just starting out in college. A long time ago, 36 years ago, I started college. It was 1980. Yes, I had my very first job there. And I look at the people, I think back on the type of people back then and how some of them were radicalized. Some of the blacks in particular. And those blacks at that time, these were people from the 1960s, so they're like 20 years older than me. And they were filled with bitterness and anger. And now as an adult, I understand their anger. Some of them were from the South, and families were discriminated against. All those riots and the dogs being sick on them, houses being put on fire, all the drama that you saw. And I can understand their anger, and then they escaped the South and moved up north. And what happened when they moved up north, the blacks? Absolutely nothing. Initially, they were pacified. Some of them were getting government jobs. Some of them went into academia. But the masses of people, they usually work for the civil service. And one thing, back in the early 80s, that's all you heard blacks talking about. Oh, did you get the Chief magazine? Are going to take the civil service exam? But they were always angry. And nothing. It's like they get a job and they're just complaining, and they're stuck. And then let's go back, 1960s. All the radicalism. And rightly so, many of these people, rightly so. And then all this stuff going on. But if you compare the 1960s, what the people looked like, the 1980s, what these people look like, and then now, 2016, you look at these people who are in their early 20s, and it's like they're reading a script. It's the same script. It's the same thing going on. And these current people of 2016 think they're saying a new thing. No, it's the same mess. But nothing ever happens. I just really look at it. I'm not trying to criticize for the sake of criticism. Just look at it for what it is. What's being said, what's the flavor of the month of who's the new victim. And then you say, okay, what do they want to do with this? And that's where the problem really stands out. There's no solution. Nothing ever happens after all this. Nothing. Just radical and yell, yell, yell. I just want, I want peace and joy and happiness. I want to be able to talk one-on-one with somebody. But instead what I'm seeing is now groups. Okay? In the 1960s and 80s, it was allegedly black and white people. And life was about black and white people and hating each other and being jealous and envious, and they have more than you. Now they want blacks and Hispanics mistrusting each other, fighting each other. Oh, okay, let's put in another new label, homosexuality or the LGBT element. Okay, that's the new flavor. So now you have those three flavors now for the 2016. You notice with the election, this 2016 election, you never hear anything about people from Asia or people from North Africa that live in the cities, in New York City. You don't hear about them. They don't have problems. How is that these new groups are able to come to America, but you never hear anything about their problems? When I was in school in the 1970s, high school in the 1970s, and there was a statistics being given, I remember this teacher. He was a Jewish teacher, very light-skinned, blonde and blue eyes, and he was either psychology or sociology class. And I remember him saying that black people are inferior to whites, but Asians were superior to everybody. And then I remember, fast forward, that people from Asia economically outdo white people. Amazing, isn't that? You don't hear anything about people from Asia. I generally enjoy meeting people from Asia, whether they're from East Asia, South Asia. I never, very rarely ever had any problems with them. But the United States is really big. And you think the only people are white, black, and Hispanic. But I live in a large city, New York City, and you have a very large Asian population. And how come during the elections you never hear anything about them? Anyone coming into their communities, and you don't hear anything about discrimination about them or persecution. I don't hear it. But they're doing very well according to statistics. When I read the statistics, how much money people make. They have those books. You can go to any library and read the statistics on different ethnic groups and what is their mean income, their average income, or their median income of a particular demographics. How is that they, being such a new group, do so well? What's really going on? What's going on? Why do I feel like I'm being played? Why do I feel like I'm in a box in this, like that lampshade thing, and you're just looking at the thing on the wall and thinking that this is real? It's not real. My life is not real, and the world that I'm looking at is not real. We're just reacting. I'm just reacting. How do I stop just reacting with every new flavor that comes out? Or let's say now sexism. This gotta stop. Help! I gotta get out of this box of trickery. This world is an illusion, and it is sapping us, and we think it's real, and we're fighting each other, and it's not real. Is the enemy really just blacks against Hispanics, and we're fighting each other, and if we move in each other's neighborhood, let's kill them? Or if you say anything about gay people or LGBT, okay, that you're a bigot? These are just images on the wall that's happening. It could be a shadow on the wall or a light image on the wall, but it's all the same thing, and it's creating the same effect. A troubled person, a troubled life, fear, anxiety. I really need to just really get focused with my life. I have to design my own life. Maybe that's what's going on, that it's a program. I'm programmed. I'm being programmed what to think, who to like, who to dislike. I see that in myself. And I hate it. So, wow, why am I acting this way? Oh, okay, oh, this is a new group. Oh, I'm supposed to be afraid of them now. Wow, they have us controlled. They have us controlled by the computer, television, radio. If we never had radio, television, internet, what would we be doing? What would I be doing? I don't know. You probably, you have books, magazines, but let's say we didn't even have that. We'll be left with ourselves and our neighbors, and we'll be engaged in conversation. I think we need to find out what's going on. I think all this is being just created. This is all new. And that is going to build up to a climax. After the climax, there's always a downhill. Where are we going to be at that time? What's going on? Let's start praying. Let's get our candle. Let's look and look within. And pray to our higher selves, Creator, not religion. Because if you never had a Bible or Quran or whatever, those books, you're left with yourself. That's what I'm talking about. You're left with yourself. I pray for all of us, before it's too late, for us to find out who we are in this mess. This is Spirit Journey. And I invite you all to view this video, comment below, share with friends and family members and other people who are seeking and trying to find out what's going on before it's too late. Please subscribe if you like, and to give me the thumbs up. Take care. Bye-bye, guys.